Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in to Book with Will. And of course, I'm Will as always. Hi, Tawana. How you doing? I'm trying to share this out to a few people right quick.
You apologize for being late, first of all.
And first of all, I do want to apologize for being late.
I'm going to make this quick because I have to.
How have your day been? Thanks for the gift.
Hello.
Author Ada, how are you doing?
I am good. I am doing really well. How are you? Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay, I was saying I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. I can't complain at all.
I am actually sending the link out to other people if that's okay.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I try to share it out to a few people also.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna put it in one of my discords.
Yes. What you been doing all day? How's the weather where you at?
Oh my gosh. So Texas is brutal when it comes to heat. I'm so ready for us to be out of the triple digits. I need the heat to go down because I'm already over it. But regardless of that, work was fine too. I work from home, so I'm a curriculum developer, so it was pretty chill. But the heat was not, so there was that.
I think you're the second author I interviewed that's from Texas, and it says hot down there.
It is
So
hot.
I think Uzziah, Mr. Handsome Self, is from Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said it was hot. Yeah. Let me trying to let some people get up in here while we're waiting.
Same. Sounds good.
Y'all down in the chat, how are y'all doing?
Make
And
sure.
Ada, how do you pronounce your last name?
Afam. So Ada Afam.
Adam Halpham. Okay, okay.
Afam. Afam. I didn't know if I heard an H, but yeah, Ada Afam.
Halpham.
Yes. Okay.
Got
Thank
you,
you.
got you, got you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for asking. Hey, Amber.
I don't want to be up here mispronouncing your name and you're like, I don't know who you talking about. So they want that to happen. So so can you tell everyone who you are? And well, you just told you joining us from Texas,
Yes.
but they never know who you are.
Yes. Well, hello, everybody. I am Ada. I am a psychological thriller drama author, and
Ooh.
I am here to talk about, well, my first book and the remaining books in my series for His Muse Only. And wow, it was. I guess I'll start off by saying that I do just have a love for psychological thrillers in general, and that was what inspired me to be an author of that genre, just for the love I have for suspense and um, pretty much binging true crime episodes with my husband and just always wanting to figure out like how did we get to the point of that particular character being unhinged? And I don't know if we have some Law and Order fans or Criminal Mind fans in the chat, but that was also something that got me inspired as well.
Okay, we're gonna get into your whole catalog a little bit later. And but I like a good psychological thriller. I think Tawana do also.
Ooh.
Hello, young most billionaires. Welcome in.
Hi,
Everybody,
everybody.
yes, everybody just coming in. Thanks for joining Book with Will. Of course, I'm Will, and today we got author Ada Afam
Yes.
out of Texas, the hot Texas. So as y'all come in, double tap that screen and get them likes up so it can get to the FYP and get more people up in here. Now, what's one thing you are celebrating right now?
Celebrating right now. Oh, yes. So I just completed my street team, which is something I didn't think I would have done at any point of my life. And those of you who don't know what a street team is, it's a group of indie supporters that go above and beyond to just support getting the word out about your books. And they repost all the things. They pretty much just let people know about what you're about when it comes to your written work. And that's just something I'm really grateful for. And yeah, I finalized my street team this week, and it was just a really exciting accomplishment. Just knowing that there's just a whole tribe behind me, just pretty much cheering me on. So it really did make me feel like, yay. So.
Oh man, I wish we would knew how to get on your street thing because me and Nadia both we love supporting. Nadia's on James Patterson Street team, so
Ooh.
she would have loved to do that.
Yeah, so exciting, and it's really heartfelt too. So.
Right, right. You know, she gets all kind of books from him, the new releases and things that he releases. So a street team is awesome. It's an excellent way to get you out there. So congrats on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So is your street team closed, or are you still accepting new people for your street team?
It's closed at the moment just because it's the number that I'm at is where I'm comfortable. So it's closed for now. And if any opportunities arise, I'll definitely spread the word about it being possibly open again.
Okay, okay. So let me get you to do this real quick. Can you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a good one. um, okay. So, ambitious,
Ambitious,
open-minded,
open-minded.
and adapting.
Okay, ambitious, open-minded, and adapting. Can you expound on adapting?
So I had to take the concept of thrillers and accept that I wanted to try something different with what we typically know as thrillers. So when we think of thrillers, we think of maybe suspense, anxiety, dread. But with my thrillers, they're a little different. And so I had to adapt to what I felt that was easy for me to bring onto paper, which is making it a multi-genre thriller. So having it be not just a psychological thriller, but psychological thriller drama, where my books are a little thicker than most thrillers, I had to adapt to what I felt was comfortable compared to what the market is probably showing as what its standard thriller is. So adapting to understanding that this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's okay. That's where I decided to take a chance.
I have to tell Naya right quick. I don't know if you hear Naya, but she's right psychological thriller.
I did it.
You know, we like a good psychological thriller.
I
I told
have
you
to hear
we're gonna get into her catalog a little bit later, so we'll know what to get into first.
it.
So, what does the perfect day off look like for you?
Oh my gosh. So the perfect day off, like straight up, not clocking into work, but instead turning on my laptop and getting out my playlist to create the most, I guess, twisted scene of where the main character would uncover something that completely just blows the reader out of the water. That is the perfect day off for me. And just doing nothing but that all day. And in a dream world, I would love for that to be the case. But unfortunately, I got to pay the bills and stick with my other job, which
Right,
is what.
right.
Yeah, but that is the perfect day for me. Just having my coffee on the side and just my laptop propped open and maybe in my backyard typing because I love writing outside when the weather agrees with you, not like what Texas is right now. But yeah, writing outside is the best.
Right. I understand. That's what's up. That's awesome. Now, outside of writing, who is author Ada Afams?
Um, so
Afams. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. So I'm someone who just really likes the just the study of human nature and just the human condition overall. I've been an educator for about 10 years, and it
Oh,
was something that I thought at the time that if it's easy to do and you don't feel any risk of doing anything else, then, maybe this was meant for you. But even before I got into teaching, I've always wanted to get into writing, but there was always there was always something that kind of scared me to actually take a chance on that. So it wasn't until I was in my 10th year that I don't know, there wasn't a specific an event, but something just told me it's now or never. It's now or never. You want to take a risk, you want to try something, you're in your mid 30s, just try something different and see what happens with that. And that was when I took the idea for my first book for His Muse Only that had been in my head for 10 years and decided this was the moment I was going to publish my first book and just try. If something comes out of it, great. If not, oh well, you gave it your best shot. Because I think what scared me more than anything else than just the fact of my books being out there was an unattempted idea. Meaning, if I never try, I never know, or I would never know what would come out of it. So,
right.
yeah, so I am a former educator, current, ambitious, wanting to put my name out there, writer or author. So
Okay.
there's that.
And I know I'm gonna jack this phrase up, but I'm gonna try. And they say you miss 100% of the shots you never take. It's something like I know.
No, that makes sense. Yes. I mean, it's true because if you don't try, how would you know, And
Right.
that scared me to pieces, like way more than what I initially thought about like, oh, what if no one likes my stuff? But to just never know, that would haunt you. It really would. Haunt you than any
Right.
other thriller could. So,
Okay. So, what are some hobbies or interests your readers may not know about you?
I really like Japanese cartoons or anime, and
Oh snap!
yes, I that got me through the roughest parts of middle school and high school like no other. And because of that, I've seen the influences that anime has in current literature and stories today. And I'm just really happy to see that it's more accepted in society than it was when I was younger. And it's something that's never going to stop being, I guess, true and dear to my heart because it's the narratives and a lot of anime and the Japanese comics manga are really, really awesome.
Look, so I gotta ask you. I love anime. My wife loves anime. It's a lot of people in the chat that love anime. What's some of your favorites?
So I'm more into the nostalgic anime. I'm not super big on the current one. Maybe it's just my bias, but I love anime that makes you think, hence psychological thrillers. So I don't know if anyone's heard of Paranoia Agent. That's a really good old school anime. It came out like in 2004, 2005, but it's just twists upon twists of a mystery thriller. And then I
Hmm.
also love I did try to get into Bleach, but it was just so long. I couldn't finish Bleach. And
Right.
that one's more of like a samurai based anime, not so much psychological. But yeah, just animes that really are more so character driven. You watch the character go through all these arcs and obstacles and see if they come out the same person or if they're a different person entirely and if it's for the better or worse.
Right. Right. Okay. So, what does your family think about your writing career?
About that, my family doesn't know. That's
Oh, okay. And why not?
so what I write, the thrillers I write are definitely on the darker side. And it kind of explains why I'm a faceless indie author, because even though I don't teach anymore, I still work in education, with, I guess, elementary curriculum. The thrillers and that can't mix. They just can't. And so because of that, and
Right.
then my family is of a different, I guess, mindset when it comes to the darker thrillers I write. I'm not in a position to let them know about what I do, but yeah, that's kind of the position that I'm in right now. It's a little tricky.
I understand. Do you think you will ever tell them?
Oh, if it takes off, I would love to. That would be quite the news to bring to them. So definitely.
How does your husband feel about it?
Oh, he loves it. That's not a problem.
Look, that's all that matters. Then that's all that matters. You got the husband
Yeah.
behind you. Hey, I'm gonna have to ask this. 'Cause I haven't asked yet, but who's your biggest supporter from day one?
From day one, definitely. Well, it's a tie, actually. It's both my husband and my sister. They serve as, just my guinea pigs to read my stories first. And then they full out just made suggestions and recommendations on just making little fix ups here and there to, like, oh, I think you should add this and that. So really, both of them. It's a tie. I can't pick between both. They'll probably get mad, but it's definitely both of them cheering me on at the same time, and just really feeling, just, I don't know. I don't feel like I could have made it this far without them. So I really do appreciate them being a part of this experience and just cheering me on, even on days where it's not really easy to keep going, because imposter syndrome is really hard on indie authors, or just authors in general starting out.
Right, right. So I understand your reasons for not telling your family, but how does it feel not being able to tell them and having them supporting you?
It's a little conflicting. I do have aspects of, well, one of these days I do want them to know all of who I am. But then there's another thing that's telling me, trust the process. When the time is right, you'll know. And within that moment, deep down in my heart, when I do know when that time is right, that's when I'll feel more comfortable, letting them know, like, this is me, this is what I do, this is what I love doing, and this is the narratives I want to bring to the light so that people can take something away from them. And hopefully they'll understand.
Look, they really ain't got no choice. Either gonna jump on board or they gonna not jump on board.
Exactly. Yep.
Cause you doing it, and this what you do.
Exactly. That part.
So what is one life lesson that has shaped the person you are today?
Life lesson. So, I guess just to not worry about the what ifs, because I think that was a big thing with me, was just worrying about, what if this does not take off the way I want it to, then what? And I think that was the biggest thing that was holding me back, is just creating these imaginary monsters that would pretty much stop me from taking any further chances in life. And because of that, that was what made me just say, you know what? No, let's actually just go with it and see what happens, because I think, with that said, the worst that can happen is, okay, it doesn't take off the way you envisioned. Now you know. Now you know, and now you know what to do different. It's the not trying that is what typically holds people back, to where when they're at the end of their rope, it's like, okay, well, who's to say what could have been?
Right. That's so true. That's so true. Now, if you can have dinner with any three people, living or deceased, who would they be?
Oh man. So I would have dinner with Toni Morrison, and she I don't know if she's written thrillers, but I know one of her books, Beloved, was one of the first I read in college, and it mesmerized me and haunted me to the very core. I think because of her, I learned about atmospheric writing and how important it is. If y'all read Beloved, you know what I'm talking about. Even if you've seen the movie with Oprah, the film adaptation, you might have an idea of what I'm talking about. The
That's one
way
with Oprah and Samuel Jackson, right?
Not Samuel Jackson, Danny Glover.
Danny Glover. Okay, okay.
Yes. Okay, so you know. Okay, so that was where, and I had no business watching that movie as young as I was, but that was where I decided I wanted to write about the unsettling and the unhinged because I felt like there was some nuances you can pick through the human experience and how the human mind kind of goes to those points. And she does an amazing job describing that, not so much in the movie, but in the book. In the book, it's very descriptive, and there's several meanings to even one sentence.
Okay, and you know it's crazy that you can read a book and then watch a movie, and it's like completely
Yes,
different.
yes, agreed.
Either it's not adding something, or it's a whole different script from the book, and
Mhm,
that's crazy.
mhm.
Like so Toni Morrison.
Yeah. Oh yeah, two more. Um, Octavia Grant is another one. I've seen the following with her books, and she just seems really inspirational. And then my last one. Ooh, this is hard. Probably Stephen King. His books are definitely something as well. I think the book to this day that still gives me the creeps is A Bag of Bones. And it's not his most popular work either, but it still creeps me out. So those three in total, I would definitely do that.
So which one of his books is your favorite out of Stephen King?
I know I said Bag of Bones was one. Another one
I'm sorry.
is Carrie. No, you're fine. It's both of them. That one and Carrie are two of my favorite. And Carrie's an older book. It's in the 70s, so you think it'd be a little slow in pacing, but it still does its job.
Right, right. Now, I know you're proud about the street team being complete. I know you're proud of your writings. So what other accomplishments are you most proud of right now?
That I actually have an audiobook out. So that was quite the experience. So I do have an audiobook for his muse only, and it's a duet narration, so female and male narrator. What makes
Hmm.
me the most proud of that one is it's one thing to write a book and see it for yourself and have it in your hand and flip through it. That's a tremendous accomplishment and experience. When you hear your characters talk, it does something to you. Like when you pick the narrators of your choice that you feel that fulfills the actual spirit of each of the characters, and when you hear them, it's a whole other ball game. It's like this is real. Like this is real. This is really happening, and I was very happy that I was able to release my audiobook this it was this summer in June. It was a day after my birthday actually. So it was a
Look,
lot of
that
fun.
look, that's awesome. And I love a good audiobook because I can't read like I used to because of my vision.
Hmm.
So depend a lot on Nadia reading to me and listening to the book. So that is awesome. I'm
Thank
definitely
you.
gonna check that out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So what makes you laugh every single time?
Ooh. When like just in general or just
Yes, in general, you just hang around, chilling, and somebody do something, or you see something that just makes you laugh every time.
when I am watching something, especially with my husband, because he's the one I watch the most stuff with, and we try to figure out how the movie or the TV show is going to end, and he is completely wrong, and I was spot on because he is such a know-it-all. He really is. It irks me. But when the one time he's wrong and I'm right, oh my gosh, I'm petty. Don't mind me, y'all. I am so petty. I will never let him like not know about it. But it's just it's so funny because we have these outcomes where like, oh man, I could be a detective. Man, I spotted this out. I spotted this out. And then you can be completely wrong. It's like, well, never mind. and he is the worst at that, but it's typically what we do together, and it's hilarious. And when
Right.
you've pretty much grown up with someone since well, I've been with my husband since I was 21, and I'm 36 now, and we've been married for 7 years, and we pretty much grown up together. That part specifically of our relationship never gets old, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It's hilarious.
Right. Right. And it's awesome to have someone you can have those moments with.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh, biggest pet peeve is, well, it kind of ties into the one of the words I use to describe myself. It's just not being open-minded to certain things. And not experiencing things for yourself. If you go along with what someone else says, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because you're so and so, and not making the experience for yourself, then you're shortchanging yourself, and you're not really taking the opportunity to make that discovery. So, for example, what I'm living right now is, with what I write, me being a former teacher, the dark thrillers what I write. Some friends, some family members who don't know what I do might say, "Hey, you have no business writing that, because of your past profession." And to that, I say, I am not my career. I am not. That's not all I am. I'm a very complex person who likes to tell stories that really show what pushing boundaries look like. And so, who are you to tell me otherwise? So, but
Right.
that's an ideal situation. So that's something that I would see as being a pet peeve of mine.
Look, you tell the ones who tell you shouldn't be writing that. Tell them to mind their business.
Exactly. I
Cause,
really should.
cause
I
you
really
you
should.
got you got this. You got this.
I appreciate that.
What is one thing people always misunderstand about you?
That sometimes um I don't really stand up for my literature as much as I should, which is not the case. So, if someone were to not be a fan of my books, I see it as okay, it's just not their cup of tea. And, I've accepted that when I put my books out there, um, it's not going to be for everyone in the case that it won't be a typical thriller. So it doesn't necessarily mean that my books are bad. It's just not for that person. But if the next person comes along, that's great. I've just learned to adjust my thinking and not go straight to the negative, but more so just the observational part of myself, and just take it as what it is.
Right, right. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. What's your favorite vacation you ever taken?
That is funny that you asked me that, because the last vacation I went to was Mexico, and this was in October of 2025. And I swore I wouldn't work. I swore I wouldn't do anything writing related, but I could not help it, because where we were at a cute little, like, I guess vacation hut thing, to where it had a balcony in front. And so the first thing I did when I woke up, I was like, I had to take opportunity of this writing opportunity here. I took my laptop, propped it in front of the balcony, and I just had a ball. I started typing everything out, and it was probably one of the best writing experiences ever. I mean, who doesn't want to write by the beach, right? You have the
Right,
ocean right
right.
there, you have the trees swaying in the wind, you got your little mojito on the side. Like, come on. Like, I was gonna definitely take advantage of that. So that was my dream vacation that I took, and I did it doing the one thing I also love, which is writing.
Okay. Look out,
How
we're gonna
about
we're
you,
gonna get into
Tracy?
we're gonna get into her
Sorry.
catalog in a few minutes. Okay, so and we'll ask all the questions about her catalog in a few minutes. You got some people in the audience that your books are excellent. Your books are
Yeah,
amazing.
I appreciate that a lot. That made me smile. So,
Um, what is one goal on your bucket list?
ooh, to write a horror book. I do want to
Horror.
write a horror book. Yes, a horror book. I do, and The reason why I'm kind of scared too is I don't know. I just feel like it's not that it's not popular, but it just, I don't know. I've just always kind of been, I'll come back to it when I can. And it's kind of intimidating to write that genre, but I really want to. I do. So that's definitely going to be one on the bucket list just because, like I said, I loved Beloved. I don't know if a lot of people would consider that book to be a horror book or like maybe supernatural horror, but I did pick up on some horror elements while reading it. And so that kind of also inspired me to actually take a chance and try someday. I don't know when, but I do want to try
Right.
it.
Let me ask you this. I'm not for sure, but is is psychological thriller far off from horror?
See, you know what? That's a good question. I would feel like it's its cousin. I think it's a cousin because it has similar, attributes of like creating anxiety and uncomfortable situations, right? But
Right.
it's more I don't know, it's hard. It's build up, I feel like. It's more build up in tension, whereas horror, you're scared, you're jumping out of your seat, you're like you're terrified at something that could actually be more so supernatural or paranormal. Whereas thriller, it's like it could be a realistic scenario that still makes you nervous, if that makes sense.
Right.
That's
Right.
how I see it.
Her looks will keep you on edge.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, her books. Me and I gotta get into your books, but like I said, we love a good psychological thriller. So tell us about the moment you realized I'm really an author.
Ooh, when I hit the publish button, like 2 years ago, and I just kept like every day refreshing Google to see if my name would pop up in the search engine. And the moment it did, I just was like, take away my phone. I can't do it. I had my husband like take my phone away from me and not give it back for like 6 hours because I was freaking out. Because I don't know why I thought reviews were gonna just start dropping in out of nowhere. That didn't
Right.
happen. But yeah, it was a bundle of several emotions. Really, I was excited, I was nervous, I was terrified, but I felt an overpowering emotion of wow, I'm an author. So that was definitely it. My experience when I hit that publish button.
And look, hopefully now that you got a street team, the reviews starts pouring in.
Yes, they actually have. It's a night and day from the first day I published to when I got the audiobook and then the street team comes in. I'm very thankful of the amount of reviews I see on the Zon and Goodreads, and that it's wow. I'm still very appreciative of it, and even the comments in the chat. So
Right, right, right. Now, was there ever a time you wanted to quit, and what happened?
yes. When I hit publish for my sequel, and initially there wasn't enough buzz about it because I had some publishing issues with the distributor that took a while to fix. It was really boring technical stuff, but apparently my ISBN number duplicated for the sequel and it delayed the release to where when I finally fixed it, the interest of it died down. And so because of that, it did make me a little sad, and I had to start from scratch to generate interest again. And now that I'm seeing the interest pick up, I definitely see the importance of marketing for sure.
Right, right. Okay, so what keeps you writing? What I think you got your series out now. So what makes you want to go forward and just continue to do it?
Just the encouragement from everyone, like doing interviews like this and just seeing the comments from amazing people in the chat that just are like have an abundance of support and having this breakthrough of one day I'm going to tell a story that someone's going to say, "Oh, we need to bring this to the big screen or silver screen or whatever you call it." And I love the fact that it all started out as an idea in my head, and the idea grew into characters and grew into a plot and grew into this thing that just seems even bigger than me now. And that's what encourages me to keep writing. Now, I have a bit of writer's block going on right now. That is fair, but I have faith that it's not going to go away, and I would love to publish my first standalone sometime next year since I'm done with my series. So there's that
Okay.
too.
All right, now it's time to get in one of my favorite segments of my interviews.
Okay.
It's time to get into your catalog.
All right.
So please introduce us to your catalog.
Okay, I will definitely do that. Would you guys like to see my books? I kind of have them on camera. I can show my books while I go over at least the main one for sure.
Yes, yes, do that. Definitely. You can
Okay,
do that.
one second. I need to turn on the light. And I will go ahead and start now. So this is the first one for His Muse Only. And this was the one I published for about almost 2 years ago, 2024. And it's based off of themes of obsession, uh, themes of control and power dynamics and power imbalances. My FMC is a special needs teacher, and she has an interesting dynamic with an art professor. And where it leads, it goes through a lot of rabbit holes, and it starts off from something of simple paint lessons that turn into more questionable lessons over time. And it's up to her to decide when she recognizes those red flags and sees a way out.
Okay. Now
And
let me
then,
ask you this.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Is there any like spice in any of your books?
Yes, there is spice. There's a bit of spice. There's a bit of
Okay, okay.
yes.
All
And
right,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'll just say for his muse only, I'll check it out.
And that's why I also encourage my readers to check the trigger warnings in the beginning of each of my books, because I did mention that it's darker than a thriller, your typical thriller. So that's just something I'd like to preface ahead of time. So, and that goes for all of these. So we have For His Muse Only, and then Shades of Okoye is the sequel. And then Grace Okoye Shades Unleashed is the third and final book. And so they go in that order. I think Amazon does have a way of ordering them too, in case you forget, which is first, second, and third.
So do you recommend reading them in that order, or can you read them?
I recommend you read it in that order, definitely, because I don't want you guys lost starting off by any of these first. So you would do For His Muse Only, then Shades of Okoye, and then Grace Okoye Shades Unleashed. Oh, thank you guys.
Yes, the covers are everything. So which book changed your career?
I think for sure the first one, because I think the first one encouraged me to not make it a standalone, but a series. Because the way I wrote the first one, there was just so much more that needed to be told. So I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it just felt like I could expand the characters' universes a little bit more. And so that's how Shades of Okoye came in, and then that's how Grace Okoye Shades Unleashed came into. And so all three of these books are connected in a way that provides some sort of character growth or character journey for the main characters especially, and it's a focus on how to face traumas and what happens when you don't. I think it's human nature to practice some sort of avoidance when it comes to tough, troubling things. And the FMC, who is Patience Okoye, me and her have a couple things in common. And I think because of that, it stems from the writer, myself, wanting to write from authenticity. She's a special needs teacher, she's Nigerian American, she's someone who has to follow these expectations, and unfortunately, her marriage could use some work too. And because of that, a person that comes into play is Harlan, the art professor, offering her all these opportunities, but at what cost? That's the
Okay.
biggest thing about that. At what cost?
Right. Now let me ask you this: is Okoye, is that one a character in your book?
That's her last name. That's Patience's last name. So
Okay,
yes.
okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Yes, and so and then that actually is a play on words, and that's something you'll find out in the first book as to why the sequel is actually named Shades of Okoye. And I just that's the thing about thrillers. There's so many ways you can hide little Easter eggs of people figuring out little twists and turns of, oh, what does this mean? What does this symbolize? And I think that's the fun part, mainly why I like writing thrillers is the reader coming to terms with, oh my gosh, so that little thing that I spotted out did actually mean something because here's where we're facing it again and how it's relevant to this part of the story. And just them really making those discoveries and finding those puzzle pieces all together.
Okay, okay. I think I'm like the way my mind works. I'm always trying to analyze and figure things out before I get to it. And
Yes.
a lot, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times I be wrong.
That's okay. The fun part is working at it. The fun part is doing the actual like logistics of it and figuring out, well, this is my work. This is where I all my findings are here and this is why I'm right.
And like you do your husband. Now you're doing the same. We said, I told you that wasn't gonna happen like that,
Yes.
man. But it be fun. It's fun. It's all in fun.
It is fun. It is.
So look, which book almost didn't get written, or did any of them almost didn't make it?
Miss Ma'am over here, she almost did not happen. She almost did not happen, and it was reasons that I mentioned earlier. I had production issues or distribution issues with this one, and so once I fixed it, and once I was able to garner interest with marketing again, that was when I realized, you know what, I can even do more development with my characters, and that was when I was able to have a plot for Grace Okoye, who is also essential to the whole series here. So I just it all goes back to this one because it
Okay.
was supposed to be a standalone and it wasn't, and it was because of fans letting me know, but there's so much more you can add, and I was thinking to myself, and I was like, you know what? I guess they're right. Let's kind of clear up some things that didn't questions that didn't get answered in the first book and keep going.
And as readers, we're always like, especially on books that end with a cliffhanger. Even if
Hmm.
it did end on a cliffhanger, we all like, we want more. We need more.
Exactly. And the thing with Harlan and Patience, their dynamic definitely gives that because the thing with Patience is, and I forgot to mention, I love morally gray characters, and that's all my book is about, is just, it is filled with morally gray characters. Characters that say things, but then their actions show something else. That
Right.
is a big one. And I love that so much. I don't think, I don't think I could have had this series without them. And with Patience and Harlan, with their painting lessons, it really does illustrate a lot of who they are as people. And with Harlan, and where I kind of talked about true crime with narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths, he's a big one that I had to take a lot of breaks from because it's a lot.
Right. I understand that. Now, what's a hidden gem readers should discover in your books?
Ooh. The way that I use art in my thrillers, for sure. The way that I use art, I did minor in art in college, and that was also another thing that inspired me to do the series. If you can tell by the cover, the protagonist, that is her, and she is hidden behind Harlan's work. And the rips here are pretty much symbolizing her feeling trapped in being his muse. And then when we get to Shades of Okoye, that is Patience and her husband. And these are Harlan's fingers. That's what we're looking at. Those are his fingers. And it's ripping through the
Wow.
canvas and tearing it up. You wouldn't tell that from far away, right? That just looks like a random abstract, but close up, that is a woman, that is a man, and that is an obsessive art professor's fingers ripping through the seams.
I would have
So
never guessed that.
I love my cover artist. She's amazing, and I gotta give props to Eugenia. She did all of these covers, and this one looking like a portrait as well, just ripped to shreds, but still trying to be packaged and sold. That's another thing that we came up with themes of just being owned for inspiration and self-expression, but at what cost? Are all of the themes that go with the cover of each book.
Look, them covers are fascinating. I love them.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. It's really when I saw him for the first time, I was it to me it summed up each book without even having to turn a page. So I agree.
And then let me ask you this now. This I don't know if even possible with your book being psychological thrillers.
Hmm.
Which character has the most of your personality?
Oh no, that's possible. Definitely the main character, Patience. And I'm gonna say this carefully because she does do a lot of questionable things. Let me say this carefully. She and I do have. I mentioned we're both Nigerian American. We were both at some point special needs teachers. Um, I do have bouts of social anxiety sometimes, and so does she. And so because of that, that's something I find very relatable in her. And so that is something that I've always wanted to do is just write a really complex main character, and that is her. And there's an authenticity with her that just resonates with me personally, and so she'll just always be my favorite. Call it bias or not, she'll always be my favorite, hands down.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, which character surprised you while you was writing?
Husband over here. The husband
The
surprised me.
husband? Why did
Yes.
he
Yes.
surprise you?
Ooh, let me. How do I say this without giving out any spoilers? Okay, so he starts off one way in the book to where I feel like a lot of readers felt like they summed up his character. Like, oh, I got him pegged. He is definitely this type of person. He is definitely this type of way, and no one can convince me different. It's not until I think the sequel's read we get more of a backstory and we get more of a basis as to why they make a very complicated couple. It's it's the reason why morally gray characters are very important in my series because if they weren't morally gray, I don't think it would have worked. So that's why I think he's the one that surprised me the most. You think it would be Harlan, but I feel like Harlan I figured Harlan out. He just needed a lot of breaks because he's a lot with the manipulation, gaslighting, sociopathic tendencies. He's a lot, but I was able to figure him out. He surprised me though.
Right. Now, if someone could only read one of your books, which would you recommend and why?
Oh man, that's hard. Cause oh, okay. So I will say this: if you want a slightly more traditional thriller, as opposed to a multi-genre one, I would do this one. I don't think you'll be too lost because of not reading the first book. I think you could pick up based off of the context clues of what happened in the first book. So if you want more of a traditional thriller, but it being really dark, it's definitely this one. I would say Shades of Okoye is my darkest thriller out of the whole series. This is the darkest, but just in my opinion. If you want a thriller that is more so it builds up to the relationships of people and then gets to the shock value than my first book for sure. Reason being, I think people have told me it's the spiciest, and then people have also told me you really studied the dynamic between Harlan and Patience the most and start to pick up why Harlan is the way he is. And
Right.
yeah. And with Grace Okoye, I feel like hers is more of an underdog story of a thriller. And so you won't get the same thriller aspects with this one because it's focusing on her being finding her own voice and just being the underdog in her own story.
Right. Okay. That's okay. Okay. Now let me ask you this. Out of your series, Is there a book you write differently today?
That I'd write differently. Ooh, hold on. Now this one's giving me some think time. That is a. I've never been asked that before. No, this is good. Maybe this one only because it's the smallest one in the series. This one is 70,000 words at least, whereas for his muse only and Shades of Okoye, or at least 100,000 words. So these are thick. These are
Whoa.
these are thick ones. I told you these are thick thrillers. They are very thick, and so they're definitely not an average size of a thriller. Whereas Grace Okoye is smaller. It's 70,000 words, and so that's why a lot of people also look forward to the audiobook because just practicality. If they're not able to sit and read a thicker thriller, it's better to listen to the audiobook, which I do plan to do of this book and this book soon. They're not out yet, so only the first book of the audiobook is out.
Okay,
Thank you,
okay.
Amber. Thank you, Aisha.
Amber said it's worth it. Oh, so yeah, we got to get into those books. 100K. That is a lot.
It is. It is.
So
My
those
brain is
those
on fire getting those words out, though.
so those characters had a lot to say, huh?
They did. They did. And actually, one of my narrators is in the chat, so I'm just going to give her a little shout out. Aisha is the narrator of my first book.
Hey,
And she did
congratulations,
amazing.
Aisha.
Yes. Yes, she did amazing as Patience, and I had to give her a shout out for that. There she is in the
Okay, that's
chat.
awesome. Y'all clap it up for Aisha.
Woo! I'm clapping with one hand.
All right now. Look, tell us the funniest thing that's happened during your author career.
The funniest thing. Ooh. So at first I started writing I started writing my first book as a young adult fantasy, but was just not getting anywhere with it. And then I just pretty much took the main character, which is Patience, and then decided to just take a chance and make it a thriller. And so when I did that and just made her older and a lot more adult scenarios,
Right.
I realized that I could have made her a teacher, and I did. And but I there were still moments where I'm like, ooh, why does she still seem so immature here? And I was like, okay, that tracks. That tracks to certain scenarios that she gets herself into. So that was kind of the funny thing where I'm like, oh yeah, at some point she was supposed to be a teenager. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's a funny thing that writers do that where we have to adapt and switch things up, but we make it work.
Right. So was that hard?
Not super hard. I think what helped was just the motivation that really got me through the not so fun parts like editing and stuff like that. And with that, it really helped motivate me to write an entire book in less than a year. So
Man, that's awesome. Now you mentioned that. Since you mentioned that, how long did it take you to write each of those books? Cause 100K, that's a lot of words.
it is. I have these bouts of insomnia sometimes where when I can't sleep, I have to keep my mind busy. So that's what I'm doing. If I'm not sleeping, I'm writing. And yes, I might only get 3 hours of sleep and be too cranky for work, but at least I have maybe 5 to 10K words done in a matter of the time that I was typing while I had insomnia. So yeah, that's how I was able to get these books out in a span of 2-ish years because this one was published in November of 2004 or 2024, excuse me. So 2024 for this one, and then this one was August of 2025, and then this one was published February of 2026 this year. So that's how I was able to get each of these out.
Okay, so look, so how long have you been writing?
Since I mean, I guess officially started writing April of 2024, and the summer I was off, so I had all day to just write and catch up. And I didn't write in order, by the way. So I was writing the sequel and the first book at the same time. So that was another thing. And then when I published both, that was when I worked on the Grace Okoye book afterwards.
Okay. I know a lot of authors that do that. They work on multiple books at the same time.
It was a
And I
lot of
think that
fun.
takes talent.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Um, Let me ask you this. Now, what's the craziest reader interaction you ever had?
Oh my gosh. So there was this one fan who reached out after reading the first book and said, "Hey, this was really good. I really think you should have a prequel for Harlan, which is the art professor who's the antagonist in the first book." And I was like, "Oh, that's funny that you say that. Wow, okay, that's good to know." And I thought that was it. I thought that was it because I wasn't trying to do a prequel on him. He's a very compelling character, but he's a lot. He can drain you, and that just wasn't something I was interested in doing. I wanted the main focus to be on the Okoye family, and that's it. And then I get the same interaction again, where like they were asking, "So when is that prequel coming out?" Every other day, and I was like, "Oh, so you're serious? Oh, that's not happening actually." So I had to let a fan down for the first time, but I mean, to a positive degree, I was flattered about them wanting that work from me. But as a writer, as an author, you do want to remember what your true intent is with your writing. And as tempting as it is to please the masses, you want to make sure you're writing that's true to your heart, not to just follow a trend or whatever you will. So
Look,
yes,
I
Aisha
used,
Harlan groupies.
I used to
Yes,
say Harlan groupies.
that's exactly what happened.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Now, what's the weirdest place someone recognized you?
Well, it was definitely in a virtual platform because I don't do in-person events.
That's
But
right. That's right.
yeah, but no, it still did happen because I was in a random video game live, and someone spotted me out saying, "Oh, you wrote for his Muse Only." And I was like, "Oh, but this isn't book talk. This is video game stuff because I'm also a gamer."
Right.
So I thought that was actually really cool that it was crossing both, talk worlds. Like you have book talk, and then you have, people who like to game, and a gamer recognized me for my book. So I thought that was really cool. I
I
took it
bet.
as a win. Not an
I bet it
in-person
felt
one, but I'll
good
take
too.
it. Yeah,
I bet it felt real good.
it did. It did.
Now, what's the best compliment a reader has ever given you?
Ooh, best compliment. I don't know if it's the best compliment, but it's one that stuck with me to where they said that you were my first thriller, and now you have me hooked on the genre. That made me smile. The fact that I was their first and now they're in love with the genre as a whole, that really made my day because again, I'm new at this. So I can't say I know that I know all of what I'm doing. I'm just pretty much throwing things in the air and hoping it sticks, Like this is my first time writing. So for them to
Look,
say that really made me smile.
look, that's big. Also, like I said, that's the first time reading the genre and
Mhm.
it hooked them.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
huge. That's huge.
I loved every bit of it.
So, so what are you working on right now? And can you give us a teaser without giving too much?
I will give a tease, because for one, I'm definitely going through a writer's block and it stinks, but hopefully it goes away. But I am working on a standalone. It's my first POV of a teenage boy around 18, and it takes place um also in Texas, so it's my first standalone. So I'm looking forward to that. And I do want to cross my fingers and hope for a release sometime next summer. I do. And if everything goes well, I would like to see a date for maybe July of next year. And
Okay.
yeah, and so it's so far I have about maybe 40% done. I just have to practice some hardcore self discipline. That's my problem. I need to discipline myself a little more, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. It's just doing this and then marketing these series that are already out. It's like I'm a one woman show. That's why I'm very thankful for my street team coming in and everybody else coming in and just spreading the word out. Like it means so much.
Right. Now, look, what do you usually do when you get in a writer's block? How do you
Um,
come out of it?
just watch things, watch and read things that are similar to what it is I'm trying to write. So I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU and a lot of Criminal Minds, and just something that shows a lot of hidden intentions that you don't see coming and it's not obvious. Because I feel like I just need to refresh my brain about how to do that again. Since I put a lot of energy in these books, they kind of snatched some good ideas from me. So I need to get
Right.
those ideas back. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Is a little bit of inspiration.
Look, it was a question in the chat. Someone asked, I know you said your street team closed. You're not accepting any news right now, but
Yeah, I'm so
someone in the
sorry.
chat asked, how do you apply for it?
So if I do happen to have an opening, maybe someone on the current team, can no longer be a part of it and they exit, I will make a post of that and send that information over. For now, it is closed because there is an amount that I don't want to exceed. But I that means a lot that you're asking, Kendra. Thank you so much. I'm like flattered. But yeah, once there is an opening, I'll definitely make a post about it again. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hopefully, who knows what will happen, in the future.
Right, right. So, are you only, is that the only project you're working on right now, or do you got any others?
That's the only one. Well, for now, that's the only one. I would like to get this one in audiobook form soon. That'll be the closest one. I'm getting an let's see. I'm hoping for October for production. We'll see. And moving forward, getting closer to having all three of these in audiobook form. So that is my goal.
Okay.
That seems more likely to happen than them publishing the standalone first.
Look, let me ask you this. Is the series, is it done, or can we expect any other characters from those series in the future?
I'm done. I'm done, friend. I'm done with this series.
So,
I am
okay,
finished.
Okoye over, huh?
Yeah, Okoye is done. I need to move on to other narratives. But yeah, I've had that question too. I've had that question too. But one word I want to avoid is I'm absolutely certain that there will not be a fourth book because I don't know what can happen tomorrow. All I know is that for now I doubt it, but I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I feel better about saying that at least.
I was asking, like, if you write in the new books, would any of them characters make a guest appearance or a cameo?
In the standalone, or a possible fourth book for the
No, like
series.
in a standalone in any of your new psychological thriller books.
Um, I don't know. I never thought of that. I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes either. It depends if it fits the context of what it is I'm trying to finish with the book I'm working on now. Maybe. I'll say maybe.
Okay, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Um, so any are there any new genres you like to explore, or are you just sticking with psychological thrillers?
I did mention horror, and also I want to add, I would like to do romantic suspense someday. For Hits Muse Only is kind of that, but not so much focused on the romance, especially between Harlan and Patience, because I want to preface that they are definitely not a romance. They are a cautionary tale at best. They're a cautionary tale in the sense of this is what happens when you try and run away from your problems. and put your hopes and dreams into a person that is not ideal. And that is Patience doing that with Harlan. But there are some romantic elements in it. I wouldn't say that it's officially a romantic suspense book. That's what I would like to do as the next project, is to write a romance thriller for sure.
Look, let me ask you something, 'cause, I had never heard of romance suspense. So is that a new genre you making up, or does it exist?
It does exist, believe it or not. Yeah, it does exist.
Oh,
I found it I think I found it on this one platform called Readsy, to where it was categorized underneath suspense thrillers. Romantic suspense is one, and I think it more so focuses on two people falling for one another, but there's a dangerous element involved. That's what I
okay.
got from that. Yeah. Yeah, see, Amber, Amber knows.
So where can readers keep up with everything you have coming?
So I am working on my official website, and I've been putting that off for way too long. So I'm working on that currently. For now, I do have a link tree, and I also have TikTok is where I am mainly on. I do have IG, I do have Facebook as well, but TikTok is where I spent majority of my time, because I just feel that there is a stronger community there. So if you want to know updates with me, please do check out my TikTok, and I also have a Goodreads page. So Goodreads and TikTok, I frequent there with updates as much as possible. And yeah, hopefully my website with what I'm working on, I'll be done with it by the end of this month, and I'll also post about that too.
Okay, that's awesome. Now we're gonna again. I call this my. Well, let me ask you this. What's your writing routine? What that looks like?
I don't have one. I just write when I feel like it. If I'm being for real, I just write when I feel like it. So like, if it's in the middle of the night and I have an idea that comes to mind, I can't go back to sleep. If I'm too tired to actually get up and go to my office and type it up, I will pull up my Google Docs, write down that idea, because if I don't, I will beat myself up about it tomorrow. And then when I can spare some free writing time, I will go ahead and elaborate on that idea more. I also don't write my books in order. I will start with chapter 10 first, and then chapter 3
Really?
next, and then chapter 26 last. Yep. I don't write in order. I wrote the ending for His Muse Only first. That was the very first thing I wrote, was the ending for His Muse Only. And then once I started writing random chapters, I started writing a few chapters for this one, and then a few chapters for that one. And then I actually finished for His Muse Only and then published it, and then was still working on this one, and then working on this one at the same time. So my thought process was all over the place. So I don't have a system. I'm not really the most organized writer. I just write whenever the feeling kind of comes up.
Okay, okay. Now I call this my little fun zone. You ready to run through it?
Let's go. Yes.
All right, we're gonna start with finish the sentence.
Ooh, okay.
Writing is
Daring. Daring. Yes.
my readers are
Adventurous.
the hardest part of publishing is
Editing. Oh my gosh, that was easy.
all right. I call this my one of my favorite questions. So I need you to say it like you mean it.
Okay.
Feel it. Success looks like
Ooh. Debate. Debating over your characters.
she said. Oh, she was excited
Sorry,
to
I got
answer.
excited. You told me to get excited. I got excited.
I like that. That's what's up. Every author should.
Be kind to themselves.
That's a good answer. I'll never.
Say never. Because I could write about anything someday. I'll never say never.
All right. That's what's up. All right, now would you rather this next segment?
All right.
Would you rather live in your sweetest romance or darkest thriller?
Oh Lord. um, the first one. The first one.
Sweetest romance.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Because I know my thrillers.
Would you rather lose your outline or manuscript?
Outline. Outline. I don't need an outline.
Right. Now, would you rather only write? Would you rather write only standalones or only series?
Ah. Ah. Nah, I gotta do my series. I gotta do my series. When I'm invested in my characters, I'm invested. Series, hands down.
Okay, okay.
The story doesn't stop.
Write without music or write without snacks?
Snacks. I think I'm one of, I don't know how many writers out there have said this on their interviews. I don't like eating while writing. I don't know why it distracts me. The most I'll go is coffee, but I can't eat and write at the same time. So I will stick to music.
I think you might be the first to say that.
I can't do snacks, friend. I can't. It's distracting.
Okay, okay. Now, one viral bestseller or lifelong loyal readers?
Oh, lifelong because it's viral one day. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? So lifelong.
Exactly, exactly. Now, would you rather have a movie or TV adaptation?
Dang it. Ah, TV because you could expand on more details and backstory. So TV. Ooh, that was
Right,
fun.
right, right, right. And a movie might flop.
Yes, yes,
Now,
right.
we're on a hot seat now. We call this hot seat.
Uh oh.
Which character would you marry?
Oh my god. It's funny because I know how the story goes, and it is not comfortable. Um, definitely not Harlan. Definitely not Harlan. I will go with my FMC's husband, Obina. I will marry him.
Harlem, the one with the groupies, huh?
Harlan is all the things, and dependable is not one of them. I'll just say that.
Okay, okay. Which character would you argue with?
Sadly, Patience. She has a lot of growing up to do.
Which character deserves an apology?
Ooh, definitely Obina. And if you know, you know.
Enough said. Enough said. Which character stole the spotlight?
Harlan, he did. This is where, yeah, he stole it. He steals it sometimes, not all the time. There are some times where it's not the Harlan show, but when it's the Harlan show, he makes an impression. I will say that.
Okay, okay. Now, which book deserves a movie?
Ooh, oh my gosh, do I have to choose? I can't choose both. Oh man.
You could do that. It's your answer.
All right, I gotta choose both. I gotta choose both. These two, because this is the book I feel that really highlights the dangers of not recognizing the red flags when it comes to someone as unhinged as Harlan. And this book illustrates what happens when you push a man too far. By the end of the day, her husband is a human being who does all the right things, provider, all of that. But when you push him, F around and find out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Now, since you said the first two, now can you finish a story in a movie without the last book?
You mean this one, right?
Yes, that's the last one of the series, correct?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, because it's really her story. It's not about patience anymore. So that's why it can be doable. Not because, like I'm saying, these two are better. This is her own separate story, but it just happens to fit because it's all a part of the Okoye Legacy family series. So this could honestly be a standalone, but I do highly recommend you do read these two first.
Right. Okay, okay. Which book are readers sleeping on?
The Gracie book. And I understand why, because when it comes to a series, and I see this now as an author, especially an upcoming author, when you choose to do a series, you have to accept the fact that when you get to a sequel, there's a chance that anticipation will kind of dwindle down because it's like, okay, they want to see what else you can write that's outside of this universe. And I understand with her being the third book, people read series differently. Some people read them all in one sitting. Some people read one and be like, okay, I'm going to come back to that one because I got other books to read on my TBR. So I'll visit it when I can. So this
Right.
one,
Sporadically.
yes, yes. So this one I feel like is slept on just because it is the third one in the series and it's natural for people to take their time with it. But once people do crack it open, they'll be like, well, dang, I should have read it all in one sitting to begin with. Because,
Right.
with what she brings to the table, Grace Okoye is definitely a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
Okay, okay. I'm looking forward to getting through all three of them.
Mhm.
Look now, what legacy do you hope your books leave behind?
That um representation definitely matters. I speak on my FMC being Nigerian American. I'm also Nigerian American, and with biculturalism being a theme in my series, I like to introduce more characters that are also morally gray, women of color that are also morally gray, and just have it be something that can just tell a different story instead of the same stories we're seeing that is, considered trending right now. I just want to bring something different to the table, something that hasn't been done before. Now, it might, it might cause several wave of emotions, especially with the choices that the FMC makes, which is I see is something as relatable as a relatability factor. You either know someone like Patience or you've been a Patience before. So those emotions coming out of you are very valid. And
Right.
with that, I hope to make a very different impression with my thrillers than maybe thrillers you might have been more familiar with in the past.
Okay, okay. What advice would you give aspiring authors?
Um, Coming out the gate, it was a very humbling experience when I published. The very first day it was, visible on all the platforms. I didn't get a single download or a single purchase, and it took a while before it got there, because I personally didn't do enough research of what proper marketing as an indie author would look like. So I didn't really start seeing sales and reviews until 8 months to a year. And when
Mhm.
I say that not to scare anybody. I say that as a grace period to where if you're not seeing results fast enough, it's not necessarily meaning you're doing something wrong. It's just requiring a lot more patience than you initially thought it would be.
Right, right.
That's what I mean by giving yourself grace.
I understand that, and that's good advice. Also, that's excellent advice.
Thank you.
Now, what's something readers don't know about you that you like them to know?
That I pretty much would read anything with a good plot. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I would never read science fiction or historical fiction. If it's a good plot, I'm going to read it. And I would just want to keep that in mind when saying absolute, saying, oh, I would always do this or I would never do that. You never know unless you try. And so I just wanted to also highlight that too.
Right, right. Now, if your catalog could be described in one sentence, what would it be?
Um, in one sentence, my thrillers are based off of the are based off of battling things like mental health, generational trauma, and overcoming as a character.
Okay, okay. Now, what's one question you've never been asked that you wish someone would ask?
I guess one question. Um, Ooh, that is a really good one. So like, did I see if I could have? Would I be able to have a conversation with who I was 2 years ago before I published the books, and that conversation being, "Are you happy with where you're at now?" The answer to that would be yes, because myself 2 years ago, before I published the books, I would have never thought any of this was possible. And so to see this is where I'm at now, to where I have people who are looking forward to my catalogs, like I'm very glad I took that bold step, and I don't regret anything.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Look, this has been a great interview.
Yes.
No, Author Ada, thank you so much for spending time with us today. It has truly been a pleasure getting to know you and hearing more about your journey and your incredible books. Now, before we let you go, can you tell everyone one last time where they can find you and where they can purchase your books?
Absolutely. So you guys can find me here on TikTok, IG, Facebook, and you can find my books on my link tree where I have all the platforms where it's available. If you want signed copies, they're also on my link tree as well. If you'd like my audiobook, they're also on Audible, Chirp, Spotify, and I think Downpour. Again, it's male, female narration, duet narration, and I think that's it. But this was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, I'm happy I got an opportunity to do this. So, and
I'm
your
happy you got
questions
an
are fire, by the
opportunity.
way. I love your questions, by the way. They're absolutely fire.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I'm gonna give time over to my executive producer for a moment to give any announcements she may have.
Not executive producer. Oh my God. First and foremost, Author Ada, thank you so much for coming and letting us pick your brain and get to know you a little bit. And I also look forward to reading your books as well.
Yay!
Um, we are off, you guys, for the next 5 days because my husband is taking me to Nashville for my birthday. Um,
Woo!
when we come back on the 20th, we will have Kemper Pope joining us on the 20th. Now, if anybody in the comments, author, narrator, reader, small business owner is interested in getting on the platform, we're currently booking for the month of September. Just let me know and I can get you guys signed up and booked and all the things. And that's all the church announcements for today.
Okay, okay. Now, to everyone watching, if you enjoyed this conversation today, please support this amazing author. Buy a book, leave a review, recommend her to a friend, and continue supporting independent authors. So until next time, y'all.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye. And thank you for having me.
Yes, stay blessed and stay booked with Will.